All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derek Thompson.
And I'm Diego Thompson.
And who are we?
We're the Pick'em Pros.
Pick'em Pros coming back at you in the house with a special episode 92, I believe, of Who You Got, father-son dynamic duo, Diego, Derek Thompson. Thanks for checking us out today. You are checking out the community here, Pick'em Pros, where we talk about all the basketball, football, engage with all of our subscribers, have contests, giveaways, all types of stuff. So you're checking us out as we're going to dive into right now. It's all about NBA, man. So round two of the playoffs. And some of these series are starting to tighten up, man.
Yeah, man, exciting, man. The Mavericks got a big win against the Thunder.
Yeah.
So that was big for them.
Yeah.
And
That was
other
big.
great games. Timberwolves played yesterday, and kind of great games.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get into all of that. Yeah, so look like, a lot of the upcoming teams were, coming on the scene, and now some of the other teams are saying, "Hey, wait a minute," and starting to establish themselves. So, man, we've got some crazy game fours coming up. So yeah, it's going to be great to see. So we see folks starting to pile in. So we'll give you guys a chance to come on in. And again, as always, leave your comments if you're watching us on Instagram. We can kind of see you, but if you want us to pull up your comment on the screen and engage, you've got to hop on YouTube, man. Hop on YouTube. You can put your comments there, and we'll pull it up after each segment and kind of address all the comments as we conclude each segment. But we also have one of the other great parts of Pick'em Pros is that our subscribers come on the show with us. And so today, man, we've got Silas repping from Canada. So very excited to have him on. So he'll be the final segment as we touch back on the series with him, and then we're going to dive into. We were talking offline about top players in the NBA. We did like a top 10 list or top 5 list, I think it might have been, for under 30. But today we're going to just get in the top 10 overall, just top 10 current players. So I'm excited to get into that list, man. Yes, man. You ready for a good show?
Yeah, ready for a good show, man.
All right. Yes. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And yeah, Silas, man, see your comment. Hold on, let's pull your comment up. Silas is gonna join us at the end. Saying Mavs are legit. Kyrie and Luka are scary. Like I said in the series, the Mavs will win based on experience. All right. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Today was a must win, and they won.
Yeah.
But they still got to win game 4. They got to get game 4. But they're looking good. They're looking good. And we're going to talk about that series in detail. So we're going to dive into that. But you're definitely looking good, Silas. You and another gentleman named Julian, who we'll talk about a little later. All right. And then Johnny O, shout out to Johnny O from Whole Shots. Let's go. Diego Army. What's up, Johnny O, my man? All right. Cool. So yeah, man, let's get on into it. Let's talk about the game that just concluded. So let me go and pull up our graphics for that one. And let's go into it, man. Mavs Thunder game 3 just finished, hot off the press. OKC won game 1. And then we're looking good. Okay, man, are the Timberwolves and Thunder, are they taking over? Are they going to be the next Lakers and Spurs of the West? But okay, hold on, not so fast.
No one said that, man.
No one said that.
You're the only person to say that. So yeah.
But hey, man, Dallas took the last 2. Won a tough one in OKC, and now won game 3 and have control. So break game 3 down for us, man.
Yeah, well, game 3 was a very close game the whole way, back and forth. The Mavericks were making a run to start off, and then the Thunder came back. They were up 10 at one point for a second, and then the Mavericks cut it closer, and then ended up winning the game. But yeah, I liked the way that I think the Thunder played well, but the Mavericks played well in spurts.
Yeah.
But they played well initially, and then they played well in the end to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think the Thunder win the next game to then go up, tie a series, and then
Okay.
win in OKC to go up 3-2. But it was definitely a big win for the Mavericks because
Yeah.
this puts them in position to go up 3-1 and then make it tough for the Thunder to come back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough, man. The one thing about the Mavs that stands out is their size. So
Yeah,
even though, OKC they have Chet, so you say, okay, gosh, they've got, tallest guy on the court. But just overall, the
yeah,
Mavs are a lot taller
the
than
Mavs they have Lively too to match with
yeah,
him. He's
yeah.
also 7'1", so
That's a big, big thing. And the other piece is was it PJ Washington?
yeah, he
Um,
he dropped 27 today, 5 threes. He went off.
golly. Yeah, he went and
Got him
see
from
he would
Charlotte.
and see he went off in game two. And that
Yeah,
was one of the reasons why I went with OKC. And I still have OKC in 6 for the record. Got
mhm,
them in 6. But if PJ is going to continue to play like that, then yeah, the Mavs will definitely win this because what OKC was supposed to have was that they were deeper.
yeah,
OKC is a deeper team.
mhm,
But, if the Mavs are going to get that type of production, if OKC can't shut some of those other guys down, then yeah, it will definitely be over. I think OKC will find something to
yeah,
slow some of those other guys down. They've got to make it more the Luca show. I
yeah,
want
because
Luca. I
Luka
I I need to see Luca going for 40. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I mean, Lucas, even after the game, he was like, "Everything hurts, man." Like, he's really,
Yes. Yeah,
uh, taking a beating in this series, so
he is.
they just gotta make him work harder and then
Mhm.
try to limit the other guys.
Yeah, yeah, but it's good. This is how the NBA playoffs are. After every single game, um, there's going to be an overreaction. So
Mhm,
because the balance just moves from side to side after every single game. So it seems like
mhm.
no matter who wins, then they have control unless they're down a couple of games. So
Yeah,
you're
it's
going to
always that.
see this continue to swing. But I can't wait to see what continues to happen. So keep the comments coming in because we're going to get to all of those. I love to see that. But we've got one more sub topic here. So we've kind of hit this, but let's fully address the rest of this. So the Mavs, because again, most of the pundits, even though the Thunder are the number one seed,
Mhm.
um,
Yep.
a lot of people can experience. They think their number one seed is a fluke, and
Mhm.
we're
Yep.
going to find out. We're going to find out just how much that is or isn't the case. But are the Mavs in control? The Mavs are up 2-1. Are they in control of this series?
Uh, I don't think they're in control of the series, but I think they put themselves in a good position to potentially be in control because
Hmm.
because they have the next game at home, that should make it easier for them to play better. So if they
Yeah,
win that one, then I think they're in control. They're officially in control.
in control.
But I repicked the Thunder to win, and I think they're going to bounce back and win Game 4, and then end up taking control.
Okay. All right, we're gonna see, man. Because hey, you got a lot of people saying, and that's actually the next time we're gonna get into. A lot of people were saying SGA should be the MVP,
Yeah, they
right?
were.
But it's funny. A lot of those same people that are saying that SGA should have been the MVP, a lot of them don't have OKC winning the series. A lot of them have,
Yeah.
have the Mavs. So I'm like, all
Yeah,
right, which
it's
yeah, which is it? So that I find that very interesting. So we're gonna get into that next. Let's look at our comments and read some of those, and then I want to touch on the MVP because that was just announced this week here. So first off, hey, shout out to Josh. Big shout out to Josh representing Cleveland. And Josh, man, we got a little side wager. I'm gonna mention that later when we get to the Cavs game. But
Mhm.
great to see you, my man. Let's see. Josh also said PJ Washington was a monster today for Dallas. Yes, he was.
Mhm.
Monster the last 2 games. So I think he's definitely been the difference.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that. Summer, shout out to Summer, handles all our graphics, all our stuff behind the scene, social media. So much love to Summer. Said love watching Luca and Kyrie. Yeah, how can you not love
Yeah,
watching them? They are magnificent. And you know what? let me stop so I don't forget. All the mothers out there, my mother, your mother, my wife, all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. So let's big love to all of our mothers. So in summer, much love to you. Happy Mother's Day. Let's definitely make sure we acknowledge that. So everybody take care. Make sure you go out and you last minute now. So if you haven't taken care of it yet, you need to get on it. Make sure you take care of moms. All right. Silas said, "Oh no, I know Silas is chomping at the bit to get on here with us, so we can't wait to talk to him." All right, let's see. Okay, you hear us? Okay, yeah, that's when we were going through our little Wi-Fi issue there. Let's see. Somerset Mavs are going to win, and yeah, that's what most people think. So Diego, you and I are on the island here. We're on the island with this whole OKC thing. Now, just for the record, everybody, I haven't gotten the series wrong yet. Every single series I've gotten right so far. So I just want to mention that, just in case y'all didn't know.
Man. Well,
yeah, just in case I didn't know. So.
And that was the first round. Nobody cares about the first round. This is my time.
Nobody cares about
everybody knows the playoffs. Wait, not the playoffs, but the later rounds are my time.
Oh, later rounds. Okay,
when it's clutch time, that's when I show up.
Okay, I hear you. We're gonna see, man. All right. So hey, speaking of Mother's Day, my mother there, beautiful mother. Per the professor, Mavs all the way. All right, yes. So shout out to the professor, aka Papa, aka Mr. Thompson, Senior Thompson. He's actually going to be joining us in a couple of weeks. He's going to be here in person with us, and he'll be here on the show, and we'll be talking big junk with him. So you definitely do not want to miss the Thompson 3 that will be on. So can't wait for that. It'll be here for your graduation. So really excited about that. So yeah, guys, much love for the Mavs in Dallas. We're just not picking them. And then Summer, much love, Derek. Thank you very much. All right, so we wanted to hit all our comments here. So let's get to SGA, man. Should he have been the MVP? They gave it to Joker. Little bit of controversy on that. We know what Shaq said and whatnot. Yeah. What's your take on the MVP award?
I think Luka should have won the MVP, me personally, but I think Luka should have won. Even though he's injured right now, he's still playing a good, but it's a regular season award, and he put up ridiculous numbers in the regular season. His team surged in the second half of the season when they got PJ Washington and got to the 5th seed, but I guess he said his seed wasn't high enough, so they couldn't give it to him. But even though some MVPs in the past have got it with a 6th seed, but who cares? Guess that doesn't matter anymore. But Shea, I think Shea should have finished 2nd, and Joker should have finished 3rd. So I think Shea had a better year than Jokic.
Ooh, man. Okay. All right. Yeah, put in the comments. I definitely want to hear what everybody thinks of MVP. Who should have been MVP? Did they get it right with Joker? Do you agree with Diego? Should it have been Luka? Should it have been Shea or SGA? I personally picked Joker. So I think they got it right for this particular year. You could argue maybe some of the years past because when he won it then, they had a lower seed. So exactly. But that's a totally different argument. So I don't think that you don't give a person an MVP just because they've already won in other scenarios. But
yeah, that's true. I mean, if they've already won MVP and they have a good year, I think they should be able to win it again if they're having a good year.
Yeah, and Joker's a made man. I was part of the camp last year that he should not win the MVP. I thought it should have been Embiid. I felt they got it right last year, but for this year, I felt that it should have been Joker. SGA is a fantastic player, but I feel he probably 2nd, maybe 3rd in the race. SGA is interesting, man, because when you have the eye test with SGA, we were talking about this. Like, I can't point to many amazing highlights or plays that I've seen from SGA. Like, he puts up 30 like it's nothing, clearly. But you don't see many 40-point outbursts from him. I personally don't feel like he just totally takes over the game like a true MVP. Again, as great as he is, I just don't feel it
Uh,
from him as far as MVP. I just don't. I think SGA, you know how I like to say like with Maxi, is just a little overrated. I'm like
yeah, no,
not
no,
not
he's not.
highly, but
He's not overrated. I mean,
ah,
I've seen plenty of highlights from SGA.
I don't know,
He
man.
just has a really smooth game. Like, it's different. Like, he has a
His
really
game
smooth
is very
game. He can
smooth.
get to his moves easily, and that
Yeah,
I think that creates a highlight. Like, if you're able to like smooth
yeah.
get to your move, and of course he's had other highlights as well. But
Hmm.
I just think it's part. I like. Do you see many like crazy highlight plays from? I know he has some crazy passes, but like scoring. Like, do you see?
From Joker, but
No.
it's different. Yeah, but again, like you said, the pat. Like I, whenever I see this is it. Whenever I see Joker play, I only have to watch 5 minutes and I see something that blows my mind. And it may not be a score, it may be a pass. I'll just see something ridiculous like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that. When I see Ant-Man, I see something crazy. When I see Jalen Brunson,
Okay,
right?
well, I
I,
I I don't think Shea has to do that in this. I mean, I've seen
mhm,
highlight plays from him. I know he doesn't do highlight plays all the time, but like
yeah.
I with the numbers he put up, the way he led OKC this year through the whole
Hmm.
year, and got them to the 1 seed, I think he was
That was,
deserving of winning that. He wasn't my pick specifically, but I can
mhm,
see why people argue that he
yeah.
could have
Okay.
won it.
Yeah, and like you say, he has a silky smooth game. There's
Mhm.
no debate about that. He has a very smooth game, great teammate. You know, somebody that you definitely want on your team.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. So I'm eager to see. Let's see what comments we have in here for this one. We've got. Let's see. Johnny, yo, you a fool. Take a nap, Mr. Thompson. I need a shot, Johnny. Yo, you know what I'm talking about, man.
Mhm.
Let's see. Some say think they got it right. Okay, yep, with Joker. Think they definitely got it right there. And then Johnny O said next season, Mr. Edwards, my goodness, Mr. Edwards / Jordan, MVP of the league and the finals. Woo! Who I got for 2025. Let's go. Yeah, man. It's we think definitely in the future, we're all going to be witnessing Ant-Man's league. I could definitely see that. So
Mhm.
yeah, but really, really curious on it. We may ask him. So I'm curious on Silas's take on that. I know he's high on Joker, um, but I'm not sure who his MVP was. So Silas, maybe you could tell
Mhm.
us when you when you join us a little later in the show. I definitely want to get your take on that. All right. Well, let's move on. Oh man, the Nuggets Wolves. We got to talk about this one, man, because wow, the Minnesota Timberwolves came out, looked like world beaters. I mean,
Yeah.
swept Phoenix, sent KD packing, they
Mhm.
beat them so bad they fired the coach.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And then, hey, they're whooping Denver, beat them twice at home in Denver, blew them out in game 2. I mean, that was some of the most amazing team defense I've ever seen. The way that they came out for that game. I mean, they look like the Houston Cougars for college basketball, but with an offense. Like it was
Mhm.
just totally amazing. But then, hey, in true championship fashion, the Denver Nuggets came back, won game 3 convincingly. A little bit of controversy on if Jamal Murray should have played,
Mhm.
but anyhow, what's your take on what's going on with the
Mm.
series in game 3?
Yeah, well, I picked Denver initially.
Mhm,
Now looking, and that still my official pick is Denver, so I'm not changing it. But like, just
mhm.
the way looking at it now, I have a feeling that the Wolves are probably gonna win. Uh, Yeah, they dominated the first 2 games. The last game, was should have been expected for the Nuggets to kinda come back at them because they are the
Mhm.
defending champs, and they wanted and, Minnesota was at home for the first time in a while, and they
Yeah,
which was probably just added another level of pressure on it, and
it
the
was.
Nuggets really wanted to go in there and, show that they can still possibly win this series, so think it was expected for him to at least get a game.
Yeah, the the Nuggets definitely showed championship poise. That's for sure. And there is something to be said about that. And we witnessed that firsthand. Hold on. First off, let me give a huge shout out to Finn Warrior. So Finn Warrior on IG. Hey, thanks for the love. Said keep up the good work. We're amazing, and you're our #1 fan. Really appreciate that. And again, you can check us out on Instagram. If you want us to put your comment up, hop on YouTube and do that. But thank you. Much love to you, Finn Warrior. Appreciate that. But yeah, man, like Silas had actually mentioned in one of our side conversations, as far as Denver coming back and showing the heart of the champion, there is something about championship poise. We witnessed that a couple years ago when we went to Boston and saw the Golden State Warriors come back against the Boston Celtics. How Celtics
some
had them.
people, some people say that was the greatest finals performance they ever saw by a player, a particular player. I don't know who that player is, but by in NBA Finals history, that's what some are saying. You don't know who that guy is, but
Yeah, okay, I don't know about that, but really though, there is something to be said about that. So they showed that, and then also, there's something to be said about experience from, facing certain situations. So the Minnesota Timberwolves, they started that series on the road, went into Denver, hostile territory, but that actually probably relaxed them a bit. It was probably like kind of a nothing to lose type of scenario, and they went in there and played, very loose. Ant-Man was extra aggressive in game one. I believe he shot 27, 29 times, and that's more of where we need him to be. His last game 3, he only shot the ball, I think, 15 or 17 times. That's not enough. It's especially if you're going to get beat down like that. Then, and I need to see more aggression from you. I'm surprised, but I definitely feel that he'll bounce back. He even acknowledged it. So I was great to see that he said that he didn't bring the type of energy that he needed to. I think a lot of the Jordan comparisons and a lot of that, was starting to kind of, get to him. And so I feel that maybe they were trying to just be too calm in the moment, but they just didn't have that same intensity. The refs called the game a little differently, to where some of the key defenders got in early foul trouble, so they weren't able to play as chest to chest, as tight as they could. They didn't let them be as physical as they were in game 1 and game 2. Yeah. But I'm not blaming the game on the refs. Just saying that the Minnesota needed to adjust, and they never adjusted to that. And you have to be aware enough to adjust to that. So kudos to Denver. And that it just sets it up for an amazing game 4, because what I hate for the crowd is that they never could. You could say they were jacked. They were ready to go. They hadn't had a home game in like 3 weeks, and they were ready. And Minnesota could never really give them what they wanted. So I'm really excited to see the game tomorrow night, man. So that's going to be must see. So I'm hoping for a good one there. All right. So let's get to one more, and then we'll get to the comments on this series, because I know we've got some good ones here. So Minnesota Timberwolves, man, is it too much hype? Or were people like me, giving them too much credit too early?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they got too much hype. I just think it was a very odd scenario that they were in with game 3, and I think they'll bounce back. I think they'll bounce back. Just the way they've been the way they've been defending Denver all series. Well, in the first 2 games, I just think I just think they're, especially losing, they're going to be really ready and know that that nothing's like guaranteed. So, and they got to lock in.
Yeah, and this is truly this is a must win for Denver. So as big as that win was, again, they lost the first 2 at home, so they're still not out of the hole. Now, if Denver wins game 4 tomorrow, then okay, boom. Now it's truly a series, and it's going to be amazing. But as quickly as things flipped, it can flip the other way. And I mean, if Minnesota has them, down 3-1, then the series will most likely be over. So. Really excited to see what happens there. So we're going to get into the Knicks Pacers next. But before we do that, let's check out our comments that we have on this. Let's see. Oh, Mike Sims in the house. Oh, legend. Said don't drink the Kool-Aid, Denver. All right. Okay. Much love. Mike Sims representing the D. Representing the D, meaning Detroit and Clayton, North Carolina. So representing both town councilman in the house, also vice president of TNT Creative Group. So much love to Mike. So thanks for checking us out. Let's see. We've got let's see. Oh, he also said Ant-Man didn't get the LeBron memo. He's trying to be accountable. Nice, nice. But yeah, I love how he was accountable. You know, I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, he just wasn't as aggressive. And then I was very happy to read that you know, he took responsibility to say he needed to be more aggressive. Let's see. Summer said Anthony Edwards was playing well, but I think Denver is the better team overall. Hoping they can come back. Yeah, Summer. We know you like your Denver Nuggets and Joker. So, but hey, see, I'm in a win-win situation here. Okay, because I was on the early train with Minnesota. I'll even show y'all the clips from 2 years ago when I was bragging about Minnesota. So we've got all that. Go to the old YouTube episodes. I was all on Minnesota. Okay.
Okay.
But we have, and I'm gonna let you make your point. But we do have an NBA bracket challenge. Again, that's another perk of Pick and Pros. We have contests where, you know, folks can win prizes. We have a bracket challenge for the NBA playoffs where we're giving away a pair of shoes up to $300 value. Diego, man, I'm not sure. I haven't checked the standings in a while. Can you tell everybody who's in first place in that?
Let me see.
Can you tell everybody? Okay, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm in first place in that, just so y'all didn't know. So I'm in first place.
I don't know about that officially.
Trust me. I'm in first place. All right. So if Denver goes ahead and wins the championship, I most likely I'm gonna go ahead and win that. So trust me, I'm gonna go ahead and buy some shoes. I'm gonna come on, have a big reveal. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. So
no,
y'all better hope that Denver.
No, it's not a win-win. It's not a win-win. You've already came on the show. You've told everybody that Minnesota, they're going to win the championship. And then, you know, 2 years ago when you said we were talking about Minnesota, you were too early. So that doesn't count. Okay, you were talking about them possibly win the championship then. That was too early. Okay. This year you picked Denver initially, right? That's fine. And then you come out, you tell the whole world that Minnesota's going to win. And then you're like, well, I'm in a win-win situation. So, no, you're not in a win-win situation. Because if Denver wins it, then your pick is wrong and your shoes basically don't count. So.
Hey, well, I'm still going to have the shoes on my feet and they're going to be fly. And I'm going to show them off. So, don't worry.
So you think that's going to happen? You don't think Minnesota's going to win?
No, I think Minnesota's going to win. But you know what? And you know what'll be sweet? I'll probably still win. I'll probably still win the bracket challenge. And now that'll be the ultimate win-win. Minnesota wins the championship and I win the bracket challenge. And that's possible because nobody picked Minnesota to win the championship. So probably all cancel out. So then I'll just have to hold on to my lead. Yeah, I've got the Celtics going to the final. Now, yeah, if the Celtics win the championship, then there's no way I can get it. But we all know that's not going to happen. So we don't have to worry about it. That's who you picked to win. Shout out to Unc in the D. Said, come back, please, Denver. All right. So, yeah. So that definitely got a lot of folks rooting for both teams here. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun play. And hey, there's a place you can come and talk that junk. So we love it. We love it. All right. So hey man, let's move on. Oh my goodness. Woo, Knicks and Pacers. Now, man, let me tell you, this is gonna be fun to talk about because the Knicks, they are the only team that has truly, from an effort standpoint, they've brought it every single game. There's not a game where we can't say they didn't bring it. These guys are leaving it all on the floor, are, you know, must-see TV. They are great. And just leaving it all out. You got Josh Hart, Iron Man playing the whole game. You've got Brunson. And hey, y'all, man, hey Diego, you officially on the Brunson train. You good with Brunson?
Yeah, I'm good with Brunson. I was wrong about Brunson. Brunson has proven to be a superstar player. So
Yeah, yeah.
I was wrong, and
All right,
he's great.
all
So we
right.
love Brunson now.
We love Brunson now.
Yep.
All right, cool, cool. Yeah, man. Now Brunson is definitely doing his thing. But so yeah, so hey, give us your take on this, man. So the Knicks jumped off to a 2-0 series lead. They had a 2-game lead, and then they this past game 3, they went to Indy. The Knicks are banged. They keep losing starters every single game, but somehow they're through duct tape, patching this thing together. And I thought they had the potential of getting blown out in game 3. But they were able to hang in there, and it was
Yeah.
a great game. The Knicks then even had a nice lead going to the end, and we're not able to hang on. But what's your take on this series, man?
Yeah, I think the Knicks are still in control of the series because the Pacers, they I just think they've shown that they're just not really the real deal. Like I
Hmm.
don't think Halliburton can go into New York and play well consistently. I don't know if the role player is going to play well consistently. Like this was their chance to get a big blowout, easy win. They got Brunson was hobbled, Anunoby didn't play. Um, yeah, yeah, this could have been their chance to win big, but they
Hmm.
didn't, and I think the Knicks will bounce back and win in 5 or 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. I think this will be a gentleman's sweep here. I think the Knicks get this game. I think they have even more confidence because for them to go into that game, I mean, we didn't even know if Brunson was going to play,
Yeah,
and he looked
I
very
knew he was
hobbled.
gonna play, but, like
He, yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we knew he was going to play. We didn't know how effective he was going to be. So
Yeah.
let me phrase it that way. And there was even talk I heard from some people saying that the Knicks should just punt game 3, don't even play their main guys, and just let them have game 3 and get healthy. But the Knicks were not going to do that. But
Yeah.
you could see Brunson definitely looked affected early in the game, and then looked like adrenaline as always started to kick in, and he was getting into it, started moving better throughout the game. Man, our guy man, from the Golden State Warriors. Um,
Draymond.
no. For the Knicks, he's part of the
Oh,
Villanova three.
DiVincenzo? Mhm.
DiVincenzo. Thank you. DiVincenzo. He shot out of his mind.
Yeah, he played
Um,
really well.
that game played really well. And then again, Hart was all over the boards, doing everything that he does every single um game. So yeah, he was just magnificent. So really just looking forward to seeing what happens with this next game as they go into game 4, man. So
Mhm.
you think they're going to bounce back in this series earlier. um so with that, man, would you say that what's your take on just the MVP of the playoffs? Who's been the best player so far in the playoffs? Is it Brunson?
Yeah, I think Brunson's the MVP of the playoffs. He's averaging 35 a game,
Wow.
which is leading all scorers by about 4.5 points. So he's really been balling out. He scored the 3 straight 40-point games, the 2 to close out Philly, and then the 1 in game 1 against the Pacers. But so he's been balling out, and I think so far in the playoffs he's been the best player.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, his numbers have been ridiculous, and
Mhm.
his impact on the game. And then when I mean, every time he sits on the bench, man, it's like they're just holding on for dear life,
Yeah.
trying to.
And then, like,
Um,
even the way he impacts the game, like, he gets to his moves, he knows what to do. He knows when to pass it to his team. He always knows what to do. He finds his teammates when they're open.
mhm.
And just his impact, just him being there, just, like, gives everyone a spark, so, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. And we got Silas. We got you in the backstage, my man. So we see you. We're gonna bring you on in just a few minutes. So you're all set and connected. All right, good. So we got Silas is gonna join us here in a few on our next topic. Yeah, but yeah. Brunson's been amazing, man. So I think if we were to give an MVP right now, would have to give it to him. But hey, we've got a couple more series left to go, so we'll see what happens there. But I tell you, if the Knicks get this next game, and can end this series early and can get some rest, man, hey, anything can happen in that next series, especially with the way that the Celtics are up and down. You never know, man.
Yeah.
They might actually slip up into the finals. So,
Yeah.
we know what Draymond said, that it's a fluke and whatnot. But if you actually sit and watch these guys, man, it's not the way they're crashing the glass, the
Mhm.
way they're moving the ball, the way they're playing D.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nah, and one other point to that, where I dispute what Draymond said about this being a fluke for the Knicks, because then he compared it to the Atlanta Hawks when they made it to the conference finals a couple years ago, and then re-signed a bunch of guys to bad contracts and never made it back. And now all they can do is make the play in. And then you had the Portland Trailblazers. And then the Dame CJ days, when they made a deep run that one year and then
Mhm.
never could quite get back there. And I was like, well, you can't say that because the Knicks were here last year,
Yeah, they
right?
were. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then Brunson's always gonna be there, so,
right.
um, and he's not I think he's always gonna lead him to the playoffs, especially in the
Yeah,
Eastern Conference, which is a little weaker, so, yeah,
exactly.
I definitely don't think it's a fluke. I think they'll consistently be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Brunson's only 27, so
Yeah.
they're in a great spot there. All right. Well, hey, let's talk about the other series here before we bring Silas on. So we've got, man, the Celtics and Cavs. So this is the next game. So I think this one's
Mhm.
8 or 8:30 Eastern
Yep.
tonight. So this one's coming on fairly shortly. Game 3 is coming up. The series shifts back to Cleveland. Boston Celtics took care of business in game 1, and then in true Celtic fashion, they let go of the rope in game 2, and the Cavs blew them out actually in game 2, man. So hey, are the Boston Celtics going to do like they did to Miami and now make quick work of them and take care of business these next few games, or are we in for a longer series?
I think for this series, they'll close them out. They'll win the next 3, I think, for this series, but, I mean, they've shown that I'm just not that confident in them for the rest of the playoffs because 'cause they're gonna be playing against probably most likely the Knicks in the next round. They're always
Mhm.
gonna bring it every night.
Yeah.
So, they if they lose to them, give them some confidence, they can definitely get a few more. So
Mhm.
that's very worrisome, and then the teams in the West, like the Timberwolves and the Nuggets and the, Thunder and the Mavericks, like, all of them are dangerous. So, I
Yeah.
don't think they can continue to lose these to take teams lightly, and because then that could lead for them to lose a couple games in a row. So, sorta like the Warriors in the finals a few years ago. So, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You're happy to bring them back up.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, yeah, man. So hey, let's go to, so with the Celtics, man, what's going on with them before we get to Silas? What's up with them? So you have them as your championship pick. Are they still the class of the NBA? Are they gonna get to the finals? They're gonna pull it together, they're gonna stop playing so much ISO ball and just shooting threes?
I think they have enough. I thought in the regular season that they might like Kansas City Chief it, like,
Mm,
kinda go
uh-huh.
light and
Right.
then kinda turn on a switch because 'cause they've been to the playoffs a lot, so they kinda know how the intensity is, but
Yeah.
they showed me that they don't know how to do that still.
Mhm.
So, I just think once they run into Minnesota and teams like that, like, that's
Man.
it's gonna be a different game, so I don't think that they're in a class of their own anymore, and I
Yeah.
don't think they'll win the championship.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they clearly have enough, to beat the Cavs. The Knicks, they should beat, but the Knicks are so scrappy, man. I don't know if that's going to be a repeat of the Miami series last year. So
Yeah,
we
because
didn't,
the
we,
Heat got 3 quick games off of them, and then
yeah,
Celtics almost came back to won, but, I
right.
mean, Tatum got injured in game 7, and they might have won, but, they
Yeah.
just let those 3 go early,
Yeah.
and it just ended it, so
That was
that
that.
that could happen because they're a very similar team to that Miami team.
Right. So that proved to be the difference there. So yeah, but as far as if they can get past those teams, I mean Minnesota, Denver, those guys, they just, play too tough. So, I don't see them changing their ways, being able to change ball. It's funny, Josh, he had mentioned he's big Cavs fan and mentioned that the Cavs thinks the Cavs are gonna win games 3 and 4 in Cleveland. And I said, dude, if the Cavs win games 3 and 4, Joe will be fired before game 5. he, 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 won't, he won't even get
Yeah.
to coach game 5. If they lose games 3 and 4, they will run him out of town. He won't
Yeah.
even get to that.
Yes, because then they'll finally realize that he's not the not the guy.
Yeah, so nah, man, definitely don't see that happen. All right, well, we got a comment here, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into Julia. Hold on. So I got to bring up our guy Julia. So Julia, shout out to you, my man. So we were going back and forth on IG about the Mavs series. So Julia's in Dallas. Big all things Dallas fan, and there's a whole lot of Dallas love here on the channel, Julian. So my parents are in Dallas, get there every year, go to all the Dallas games and all that. But he saw our comment about OKC and about the Dallas going through their offensive lows and whatnot. So we were going back and forth. So we actually have a side bet, Julian and I do. So Julian's going to be on the show in about a week or so. So if Dallas pulls this series out, we owe our guy something for Dallas, jersey or something. So he's gonna come on the show rocking whatever Dallas gear we got him, and I know he's gonna talk mad junk to us. But if OKC gets it, okay, then he's gonna come on with a nice Pick 'em Pro shirt and gonna talk about how brilliant we are. So we can't wait to see that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So shout out to you, man. Much love. Thanks for hopping on and checking us out. So that's what Pick 'em Pros is all about. So we love having fun in a fun way and going at it with everybody. All right. Well, hey, man, let's get to our special guest, man of the hour. We've got Silas hailing from Canada. Let's go ahead and let me get our screens together and bring in our guy. What's going on, Silas?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, man. Good to finally have you on, my man.
Yeah. Nice to see you guys too.
Yeah.
You guys had some good takes today. I will say one thing though. The Celtics, the only way the Celtics can win the finals is if Jason Tatum can start playing better. He's been playing awful. I've never seen Tatum play this bad. He's a good player. He's a really good player, and he should be playing much better than this. But anyway, go on.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. He definitely, he's tried to. What I will give him credit for is it looks like he's really tried to step it up on the defensive end. Do some other things while his shot is not falling. But he just, man, I knew that they were in trouble from game 1 of the Cavs when they were actually blowing out the Cavs. They were blowing them out, but I see Tatum with the ball dribbling at half court and then going 1-on-5, right, and going to the hole and getting stripped. And I'm like, it was the same thing, but they were getting away with it that game. I'm like, man, that's not going to work. You better swing the ball around. He needs to learn how to play off the ball, catch it and shoot it, and not have to, dribble like a point guard, because that's just not his game. And we just need better shot selection from Tatum. So that really, I think, is what dooms him. He just takes so many bad shots. A
lot.
But hey, man, but let's before we get into, so one of the main things we're going to talk about with you is we were talking about this on the side. We've got a top 10 list, top 10 players in the NBA. So everybody start working on your list. I want you to start submitting that. Your top 10 players in the NBA. That's a tough list. This isn't no limitation by age, none of that, just top 10. And when I say top 10, let's put some criteria on this. So you want to give credit to people that have won titles and all of that. But at the same time, base it on, okay, I'm picking players right now to be on my team. Who are the top 10 players right now? Okay.
Mhm.
So let's really, you know, kind of factor all that in here. But before we get into that, man, let's learn a little bit more about yourself. So we know you're in Canada. Man, what are, you know, some of your favorite team? Who's your favorite team for the NBA and for NFL, and anything else you'd like to tell us?
My favorite team is same as Diego, the Warriors. I've been
Mhm.
repping them since
Yep.
2013. You know, I was there during their highs, and I was there during that COVID year when they had like 15 wins.
Yeah.
So, I've been there for a while with the Warriors. My favorite NFL team are the Vikings and Bengals.
Ooh,
I love
okay.
those teams.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I've actually only been a fan of those two teams for only like 3 years because I've only got into football in the past 3 years. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always fun to root for those teams,
Yeah.
especially since all those teams don't really win much anymore. The
Right.
Warriors, it was the most disappointing I have seen in such a long time.
Yeah.
Kings
Yeah.
being us. Whew.
Definitely disappointing. So what other so you know, you're a big basketball fan. We know you're, you know, a new football fan the last 3 years or so. What other sports do you follow?
Um, I watch this past year I've gotten into watching golf and stuff, just
Yeah.
trying to learn the sport of golf.
Uh-huh.
I don't know much. All I do know is that Tiger Woods fell off. He's not as good as he used to be. So, you
Sure.
know, it's rough being a Tiger Woods fan nowadays. So
Yeah.
hopefully he wins one more major event. Hopefully.
Oh man, yeah. That would be phenomenal because I mean he still moves the needle. Um, you know, he's, you know, is similar to is very similar to like Caitlin Clark. You know, all the hoopla of Caitlin Clark coming into the WNBA, and even a lot of the jealousy of the
Mhm.
players that are there. And then her kind of taking over. It was just like how it was with Tiger Woods. So you've got,
Yeah.
you know, there's so many similarities with that, but flipped, even from the race standpoint and all of that. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
parallels between when Tiger went into golf and Caitlin Clark coming into
Yeah.
WNBA. But yeah, man, it would be, I say all that to say he moves the needle. And yeah, if he were to win another major, man,
Huge.
incredible. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, we big golfers, man. We love to get out. So man, hey, when we are able to connect, we'll have to get out there on the course, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, hey man, you guys ready to get into this top 10 list?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, my top 10's lethal.
All right, okay. Well, I tell you what, tell you what, why don't you give yours and we'll go to Diego, and then I'll give mine. Let's do it that way.
Okay.
Okay. So Silas, floor is yours, my man.
My number one player in the league right now, in my opinion, is Jokic. I think he's the best
Okay.
player in the league. He's the
Mhm.
MVP. He's dominant. I love watching him play. He's one of my favorite players to watch. And his team's one of the best in the NBA. So that's my number one. My number
Yeah.
two, come to no surprise, Luka Doncic.
Uh-huh.
Any other year, in my opinion, Luka would win MVP.
Yeah.
He was that good. How many points did he average? Like 35,
It's ridiculous.
9, and 8? It was something crazy.
It was.
But like, since he was a lower seed, it
Mhm.
makes sense to why he didn't win MVP.
Yeah.
Number three, Giannis. I think
Mhm.
he's still a top three player in the league. Obviously, what happened in the playoffs where he didn't play was it really was a shame because he's such
Yeah.
a fun player to watch, so dominant. He's like 90s Shaq, like Magic Shaq.
Mhm.
He's basically like that. Number four, Joel Embiid. I
Mhm.
think Embiid, he's really dominant. And before this year, he was never that good in the playoffs. This year, he really proved lots of haters wrong. He was playing through a whole lot of different things. And Embiid's a warrior, but he also shoots a lot of free throws. And that's the one thing that I kind of don't like about his game is he
Mhm.
flops a lot. He gets a lot of calls.
Yeah, the ground is undefeated. So you can't fall on the ground like that. Ask Dwayne Wade, ask a lot of players, and Michael Jordan learned early in his career how to slide and whatnot. So yeah, man, you can't keep falling like that. Yeah, so great point.
Number 5 for me is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think he was a top 3 candidate for MVP this year. He was really good.
Yeah.
When he first got traded to the Thunder, I was not expecting this. Not at all.
Nah.
So to really see where he has come from the Clippers, it's great to watch.
Yeah.
But he's the same as Embiid, in my opinion. He just draws so many fouls. He shoots like 13 free throws a game.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me.
He does.
Number 6, Jason Tatum.
Okay.
It feels a bit low because Jason Tatum is such a polarizing player.
Right.
He's one of the best players in the league. You know, he's a great wing player. But this year, he wasn't really as good as he was last year. You know, especially if you count the playoffs too. I don't know. Like, he should be much better in the playoffs than this.
Yeah.
Number 7, we have an older player, Kevin Durant. I think he still deserves that. He's still one of the top players in the league.
I've got him in my top 10.
Yeah, definitely. Only down part, or like the only bad thing about him, switches so many teams, right?
Yeah.
6 coaches, 6 years, ridiculous. I don't understand how he has that type of like power. I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Durant's still a great player.
Right. Okay.
Number 8, the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson.
Oh, Diego guy.
It might be surprising. You know, it's tough to put him over guys like Curry. You know, Curry's my favorite player. It's tough to put him over him.
Yeah.
If I'm counting this season, I'm taking Brunson over Curry.
Gotta. Yeah. It's because
Brunson's yeah,
because we're basing it on, hey, if we're at the court and we're picking a team right now, and you know, you. That's what it's based on. Yeah.
Yeah. And Brunson this season was a force. He was so good, especially in this playoffs. Like, he put up 4 40-point games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That hasn't been done since Michael Jordan. So that's that's insane.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson being that high up with Michael Jordan, I never thought that would ever be a thing.
Yeah.
And now number 9, my favorite player is Steph Curry.
All
he still deserves to be in the top 10.
Yeah. Yep.
I would choose him over a lot of people to lead my team. This year, Curry was like, in the regular season, Curry was, on Curry terms, average. He could have been better. He struggled at times shooting, but he's still a great player. Come playoff time, it was really just his team construction. They weren't constructed well.
Right.
Like, Curry was playing great. His other players weren't. The teammates weren't playing great. So Curry's still great. He's still 9. And Derek maybe change up my list, sadly. Number 10, Kawhi Leonard. He moved down. He convinced me. He convinced me. In terms of skill, defense, offense, Kawhi's a top 5 player, in my opinion.
Yeah. Talent.
When
Undeniable.
Yeah. So when I thought about it, I was like, durability is a key factor in being a great player, right? Being for your team.
Yeah.
You have to be there for your team.
For sure.
I don't know what happened to Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs. He just started missing games.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him. It looked like he was fine. And then he just started missing game after game after game. And then they lost the series. And now the Clippers' future is really just unknown at this point. Like, we don't know what the Clippers are going to do because they have so many big contracts. And I expected the Clippers to be much better this season. It's really just disappointing. Yeah, that's my top 10.
All right. No, I love you. I think there's only one guy in your top 10 that's not in mine. So yeah, we've got very similar lists. Yeah. Kawhi's not in my top 10. So yeah, you probably guessed that, right? that was an easy one to guess. Yeah. But no, we had a lot, and some people we had the same number. I'll call that out when I get to mine. But yeah, no. Good list. This is fun to do. So yeah, if you are still on, those of you who want to give us yours, go ahead and list that. And I think for the sake, so typically we do 10 to 1, but I think for the sake of this, I like actually going 1 to 10 because it's easier to kind of keep track of how we're really rating people. So I like this. So Diego, give us yours. Give your commentary like Silas, but go 1 to 10.
All right. So number 1, this might be a shocker to some people, but I got Ant-Man number 1, best player in the league right now. Yeah, he's just taking the league by storm. Like the Timberwolves, they were in the number 1 seed for most of the year. They didn't at the end. They got number 3. They lost it by a game. When Cat was out, Ant was still performing well. And just the way he's improved his 3, his mid range, all his game similar to Michael Jordan, all those comparisons, and just all the highlights he puts up, and he's putting these legends, he's sweeping them, and the Nuggets, he might gentleman sweep them. So like I think he's the best player in the league right now. So I think Jokic is defending champion, but I think Ant's going to be the champ this year. So officially overtake him. But yeah, number 2, I got Jokic, reigning champ, MVP, one of the arguably best passing big man ever. So got to give him that at 2. Luka, I got Luka at 3. I thought he should have been MVP this year, even though his team wasn't seeded as high, but he's still a great player. I think if he was a little bit healthier, he'd be playing better in the playoffs. But I have him at 3. Number 4, I got Embiid. Embiid, he's a dominant player when healthy. Won the MVP last year. This year was about to win it until he got hurt. But played well in the playoffs despite all the injuries, and just with his size, his dominance, the way he can shoot, and he's so skilled. So gotta have him at 4. And number 5, I got Giannis, champ 2021. He's still put up like 30 and 10 this year. Just got sidelined by some injuries in the playoffs, but I still think he's a really great player.
Yeah.
And, number 6, I got SGA. He was in the MVP conversation. Averaged 36 and 6, 30.6 rebounds, 6 assists for the second straight year. So I think he's solidified himself as one of the best players in the league and leading OKC in the number 1 seed. And number 7, I got Brunson. And number 7,
you have officially embraced Brunson, man.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, Brunson is getting, he
came. Good stuff.
Yeah, Brunson, he worked hard. He's a 2nd-round draft pick. Came from Dallas. Some people didn't believe in him. Some people. And now he's proven those people wrong. So he's one of the best players in the league now. Playing great in the playoffs too. Playoff MVP. And number 8, I got my guy Steph. It's still pick him like Silas to lead my team. But he's just not the same as some of these other young guys that are taking over the league now. But he's still a 4-time champ, and I think he deserves to be in this top 10. And number 9 is the guy we're forgetting about. A guy that's been sidelined by some injuries last year. Ja Morant. He's a human highlight. Whenever he's on, it's must-see TV. The Grizzlies didn't know what to do with themselves without him. They had like 30 different players on their roster. So when he's on the court, when he played those 5 games, it was electric, and when he wasn't, you could see the impact. So I gotta have him on this list. And number 10, I got Tatum. If you asked me earlier in the year, he'd be higher, but he didn't perform the same way this year as last year, and he hasn't been playing as great in the playoffs. So I have him a little lower. That's my list.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, this is cool to see and hear the reasoning of everything. So a lot of us, we have, again, there's only maybe one one or two players different as far as being in our top 10, but then there's a little bit of variation on where. But yeah, it's cool to hear the reasoning. So yeah, Ja, because you sent me your list before, and when you sent me your list, yeah, I actually did forget about him. I said, oh my gosh, and I looked at it, and I was like, man, where do I put him in? And I struggled with it, and so I'm gonna give you my list here. We'll see if he made it, but yeah, I did forget about Ja for sure. So let me go on to mine here. I know we're going over a little bit on time. Number one, I've got Joker. Number one, reigning MVP, the man. May change in a year or so, but for right now, I still got to go Joker number one. Number two, I've got the Freak, Giannis, Milwaukee. Again, the injuries are starting to pile up though, because these are 2 playoffs in a row where he's not been able to play. So, kind of still giving him a pass a little bit, but if it happens again next year, I'm gonna have to start bringing them down more officially. I've got Luka number 3. We all know Luka's the man. Still wish he would take better care of himself physically, but I think he could truly separate himself. But I don't think that's going to happen. Number 4, I've got SGA. Again, was top, 2, 3 for MVP race. So I've got him number 4. Ant-Man, I've got number 5. So yes, I actually have Ant-Man under SGA right now. I think that's going to change. Ask me in another week or two, might change, who knows? But as of today, I'm still gonna put SGA just slightly above at 4. I've got Ant-Man right behind him at 5. I've got Jalen Brunson number 6 on my list. So because my gosh, man, you look at again last year, got his team to the second round. Everybody's hurt, nobody's there. This year, got his team to the second round. Will probably get them to the conference finals, maybe the final. Like, it's just amazing. And Brunson, he's not getting the credit, like Diego said, because second round pick. You look at him physically, he's a short guy, just doesn't pass the eye test. But if he was a high draft pick or looked different physically, we'd be losing our mind over Brunson. So I've got to have him at number 6. I've got Joel Embiid number 7, only because of injuries. I mean, he's top 2 talent, but just being banged up a lot. I've got him at 7. I've got Tatum at 8 right now. I've got Steph at 9. I had to get Steph in my list. Got him at 9. So that's about where you guys had him. And then I had KD in my final spot at 10.
Yep.
But then I struggled, man, because when you said Josh, oh my gosh. Then I was like, it came down to 10. Do I go Josh? Do I go KD? I was like, oh man, I could have argued either way, but I just went with KD. But Ja definitely is high impact. We see what they are without him. They see what they are with him.
Yeah.
But then also I got 2 other guys. I'm gonna go honorable mentions. Donovan Mitchell. We see
honorable mentions.
What he's
honorable
been able
mentions
to do.
here, man.
We see what he's been able to do with the Cavs. Mitchell is close, and then Damian Lillard. He also, is up there and close, but they didn't quite make the cut. Didn't quite make the final list. So, yeah.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Am I hating on Anthony Edwards for not having him in my top 10? Because Diego has him at 1.
Yeah,
and you him at 5. I don't even have him in my top 10. So
I didn't catch that. I didn't realize he wasn't in the top 10. I thought he was like 6 or 7. Oh, he's not even in.
No.
Woo! Yeah, man. You might be behind. Yeah, you might have to get on the train with that one, man.
Look, I love Anthony Edwards, but I just feel like we can't put him at 1 or 5 based on this playoffs. Like, I know he's a great player. I know he's a highlight. I know he's Michael Jordan's son. But I just don't feel comfortable putting him in the top 5 or even 1. Top 10, no. If you put him over Kawhi, I wouldn't argue. I feel like he can be over Kawhi Leonard. I'm not even going to be blind to that fact. I feel it's a bit of recency bias for him being this high, in my opinion. For my honorable mentions, I'm going to say 2.
Okay, who you got?
Domantas Sabonis. I think Sabonis deserves to possibly be in the top 10. He's a
Okay.
great player. Like you said, he doesn't do great in the playoffs though. He like falls apart. He doesn't
Yeah,
become much of anything.
yeah.
And then for me, Anthony Edwards, because I didn't have him in
Yeah.
my top 10. Sabonis and Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising. I feel like I put, compared to yours, some of the players a bit high maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys had good lists.
Yeah.
I love your guys' lists.
Thank you.
And yeah,
Yeah, good. Yeah, yeah. No, that's a lot of fun. And again, this is all personal. So, as far as your preferences and whatnot in the list. So there's no, what I'm saying, there's nothing egregious or anything like that. Even with Ant-Man, I mean, I get it. You could I feel that if Ant does what we think he's gonna do, then I think you'll be the first one. If we were to do this again at the top of next year, you would have it adjusted accordingly. I think you just want to see
yeah,
you want to see it. You want to see him
I
kind
want to
of
see more. I
finish.
want to see
Yeah,
more of
yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
If he wins the finals, he goes way up my list,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But I've not seen him in a finals appearance before. I've not even seen him in the conference finals. So
Mm-hmm.
we just don't know, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
based on this playoffs, he is excellent. He is
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely understand where you're coming from with that. So no, this is good. This is fun, man. We'll have to have you back. I want to probe Josh because I think Josh had a question. So Josh, if you're still watching, my man, if you can put your question in the comment, and then I want to give you the floor, Silas, before we go. If there was any questions that you had for us, I wanted to give you the opportunity to do that. But let me check and see if Josh is on and can ask the question. So here we go. Yep, there's my man. All right. So Josh had a question here. Who should the Magic try and pick up? And did this for we can all answer this one. So Diego, we'll go to you first. Who should the Magic try to pick up to play alongside Paulo so the Magic can take the next step next year? That's a tough one. So Silas, you can think about that for a second. Diego, why don't you kick us off on that, man?
I don't know if they could do this, but I know people are mentioning
Okay.
a few people from the Suns departing. So I mean, I think either Katie or Booker, of course, would be a good fit for them because people are talking about them like possibly leaving, but
Oh,
that's
really?
not
Okay.
that's not that likely, but
Yeah.
them, but likely like free agents.
Yeah, like more like
Free
free agent.
agents. I think Clay actually.
Mm-hmm.
Clay
Yeah,
would be pretty
I was
good
thinking the same thing.
because he'd
Yeah.
be if he's willing to come off the bench or willing to not be like the first or two option, then I think he'll be a perfect vet to like teach those young guys how to win and hit clutch threes every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think would be great. That was mine as well. Yeah, I think it would be great for Clay. I think he needs a change of scenery. He's a legend. His number will be retired and go to say his legacy is secure. So he's fine there. He's a made man there. But I feel that he's got some left in the tank. Maybe not as much as what some people are saying, but I think he's got some left in the tank, but it has to be the right situation. I think Orlando would be a great situation. It's a young team. It's on the East Coast, which is totally different. I don't know if he's ever even been on the East Coast, but yet it's still a warm climate. His dad was, played for the Lakers. He went to, I think, Washington State, I believe, then played for the Warriors. So he's been West Coast his whole life.
Yeah.
So I think it would just be a really good rejuvenation, total change of scenery to go to Orlando, be there, go to Disney World. And that team struggles with shooting. So
Yeah.
basketball wise, it'd be a great fit. So I would say Clay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right. I'm right with both of you guys. Like Klay Thompson's the perfect fit. But the question is, how much are the Magic going to pay for a 6-year-old Klay Thompson? Because
That's a
they
great
still
point.
need to outbid the Warriors. They still need to outbid the Warriors. So are the Magic willing to pay, dare I say it, $30 million for Klay Thompson that could shoot? That's like it's paying $30 million for Miami Heat Ray Allen.
Yeah.
It really just it's a perfect fit. But Klay Thompson loves the Bay. He loves the Warriors. And it's gonna take $30 million to get Klay away because the Warriors are not gonna match $30 million for Klay. They can't.
Yeah.
They will never do that. So, and I heard rumors that the Magic are willing to actually probably do that. So,
yeah,
they're willing to pay high amounts of money, which is very shocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens this free agency.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be wild for the Magic.
Yeah, I think they should. Now, I don't like the 30. So I'm happy you brought that up. I think the better number, I think the best number is 20. If you can get Klay for 20 million, then then I think that's a great fit. 25 is like, maybe right fit, Orlando and whatnot, but I think 30 is getting into then it's starting to become detrimental because then you're not able to do the other things that you need to do with your roster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
You can't pay someone $30 million to be a six man because he's not going to start over Suggs. He's not going to start over Suggs. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, can the Magic pry away Klay for 20? If so, that's a great signing because Klay still averages 18 a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
He still shoots 39%.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Klay. There's games where Klay was abysmal. There's games where Klay put up 40 points on really good shooting. Klay still has some good games left in him.
Mm-hmm.
But, the Magic need shooters. They pick him up for 20. That's the perfect signing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, great question, Josh, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Oh, and Josh, man, got one other thing for you because Josh is our guy repping from Cleveland, and he's wanting Cleveland to take these games here. Games 3 and 4. So I don't know how much is actual picking, how much is wishful thinking. I'm not sure where he is with this, but I already told him. I said, hey, if the Cavs are able to win games 3 and 4, I said you can get whatever item from our Pick 'em Pro store you can get. You can order. I'll get you a coupon code. But Josh, I'm gonna do you one better. If the Cavs win tonight, if they win game 3, you get a coupon code. You can get whatever you want from our stores. You don't even have to win 3 and 4. Just win tonight. So you've got something on the line with the game. So enjoy, my man.
You need Mitchell to drop 60 though. Like, man, I don't know if the Cavs are going to win this game.
Oh,
that's a tough game.
He dropped 70 before. We'll see.
Oh no. Cool. No, this is awesome, man. No, definitely a big pleasure having you on. Well, hey, you know what? Unless there's any final questions, man, we'll go ahead and sign off. And I tell you what, we will sign off with you. So here, we'll let you do the official, how we say Pick 'em Pros when we sign off. So see, any final questions? I think we're clear. So, hey, we're going to sign off here. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for all the love and support. Enjoy the Cavs Boston game tonight. Enjoy the games tomorrow. We're going to find out a lot. Are the Mavs taking the series over? Is Denver back in it? Is Ant the new Jordan? All this stuff we're going to find out here in the next couple of days. So enjoy family. Enjoy sports. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Take care of your moms out there. But until then, all right, fellas, say it with me. Pick 'em Pros.
Bro.
Later.